On rainy days, my mother stayed home. Wet slippers by the door and one quiet sigh. I love those days. Her hands were always cold, her shoulders always tired. She woke before the sunrise, came home long after dark. I was only a child with nothing much to give, so I held one test paper tight and stood in front of her. When she smiled at my perfect score, I never understood why the smile felt painful too. But somehow, even then, I knew she was too tired. That's why I wanted to grow up fast, so my mother could finally rest, so she wouldn't need the rain just to stop for a while. I had nothing I could give her except pretending I was doing well. I only wanted the world to hurt her a little less. She always told me, don't live like me, but somehow that hurt even more. Why couldn't someone like her live an easier life? Why do the kindest people always wear themselves away first? I wanted to become an adult, not because it looked beautiful, but because I wanted to carry something heavy for her. That's why I wanted to grow up fast, so my mother could rest more often, so even without the rain, she could sit and breathe a while. I was too young and powerless, all I knew was how to study. So with little red circles on my paper, I tried to make her smile. The smell of rain inside the room, wet clothes hanging through the night. My mother smiled for just a moment, and somehow I still remember it all. Now I understand what she truly wanted was never success or glory, only that I wouldn't live in pain the way she did. Still, whenever it rains, I think of her and the days. Rain was her only rest. When it rained, my mother stayed home. That's why I loved rainy days. I was always someone who walked too fast. I never thought anyone would wait for me. The wind was always cold, people passed without looking. I kept my eyes ahead, just trying not to fall behind. But somehow you walked beside me without asking anything at all. Why did it feel so strange to hear someone say my name gently? Why did kindness feel heavier than loneliness? kindness. I didn't know how to receive kindness. I didn't know I was allowed to. I got so used to surviving alone that leaning on someone felt wrong. But you stayed quietly on my side, waiting for me like it was the easiest thing to do. And for the first time, I almost wanted to cry. I learned too early that happiness never lasts, that love was a luxury for people with lighter lives. So even the smallest warmth made me nervous. Even your gentle eyes felt too bright for me to hold. I spent my whole life trying to become an adult too quickly, but around you I wanted just for a moment to be young. I didn't know how to receive kindness. I didn't know someone could stay. The world only taught me how to expect disappointment first. But you kept standing there even when I said nothing at all. And suddenly I didn't feel so alone anymore. You gave me something I never knew I needed, the feeling of returning to someone instead of just going home. I'm still learning how not to flinch at kindness, but because of you, the world feels a little less cold. Even in strong winds, one quiet person can become warmth. I never knew being someone's person could make life feel lighter.
We kept trying to let each other go, thinking love meant hurting less that way.
You kept saying you were fine, while I kept carrying everything alone. People say if you love someone, you should set them free. But some hearts only grow lonelier the farther they run.
The world kept telling us to choose reality first,
but somehow every future without you felt empty. In the end, we returned to each other. After all the ways we tried to walk away, you were still the one my heart reached for.
maybe happiness was never somewhere far away. Maybe it was simply having someone to survive this life beside.
We just learned it too late. We knew too well that love alone cannot feed a life. So we became careful, and that caution hurt us more. But some people become clearer the more you try to forget them. Like a home your heart keeps returning to. Alone we could pretend to be strong, but
again. In the end, we return to each other. No matter how much the world shook us, we still called each other's names. Love was never grand promises or perfect endings. It was staying through the difficult days without letting go. We didn't save each other, we simply held on, so neither of us would fall alone. Now I know happiness is not a perfect life. It's having someone you can return to after the storm, and somehow, after all that wind, we still found our way back. No matter how far we turned away, our hearts kept walking toward the same place. Why do we always hurt the people we love the most? My mother always said she was fine, even on the days she looked ready to fall apart. She fed me first, before her own hunger, loved me quietly like it was breathing, and still I spoke to her with all the sharpness I carried inside. When I hurt my mother, the wound appeared inside me too. But somehow we are always the most careless with the people who stay. Mothers, remember their guilt. Children, remember their loneliness. She remembered every moment she couldn't give me more, and I remembered every night I felt unseen. So we spent our lives loving each other through different kinds of pain. After every cruel word, regret always came first. But my mother never pushed me away. She only asked if I had eaten, and somehow that simple question hurt more than anger ever could. Some people cannot be hated away, cannot be abandoned away. We were too deeply tied to leave without bleeding, like two frightened hedgehogs trying to hold each other without causing pain. Mothers, remember their guilt. Children, remember their loneliness. She blamed herself for all my sadness, while I learned too late how much she had loved me. And somehow love stayed, even when time kept hurting us. Maybe my mother was just someone being a mother for the first time too. Now I know when I made her cry, something inside me broke too. We were never enemies, just two people loving each other too clumsily. Love was always there, it just didn't know how how to speak gently.
Life was harder than we thought it would be, and happiness was much smaller too. Mornings came too early, days disappeared too fast. We were in love, but we learned quickly that love alone cannot carry a life. Counting the money, bringing in wet laundry, looking at each other with exhausted eyes at night. Still somehow, when I looked at you, the loneliness felt lighter. We stopped dreaming about grand futures. Most days we only hoped to survive until tomorrow, but at the end of every difficult day, you were there. We were tired, but we had each other. Life kept shaking us apart, but somehow you were always the place I felt toward. Love was never flowers or fireworks, it was sharing warmth on cold days. And somehow that was enough to keep living. Happiness didn't arrive like the movies promised. It came quietly instead, in shared dinners and waiting without complaining, in small words spoken after long days. You worked hard today, and somehow those simple words held my whole life together. We didn't love each other because life was easy. We loved each other because even in difficult seasons we stayed. We were tired, but we had each other. The world kept teaching us reality, but you kept reminding me that I wasn't carrying it alone. Maybe happiness was never something distant. Maybe it was simply having someone to come home to. Love does not erase suffering. It simply gives tired people a reason to endure it together. Now I know we survived those years, not because life became easier, but because we became each other's reason to continue. Back then, we were exhausted, but somehow we were never alone. The child was gone, but morning still came, and somehow the world kept moving as if nothing had happened. A tiny pair of shoes still waited by the door. The blanket still held warmth we couldn't bear to fold away. Just yesterday, that small laughter filled the house, but the world made space for absence too quickly. People cried with us for 3 days. They brought food, held our shoulders, told us to stay strong. But after 3 days, everyone returned to their lives, and we remained there, alone with the silence. The world moved again after 3 days, but inside our home, time almost thought that day the child was gone, but meals still had to be made. The other children still called for their mother. So somehow we kept living while breaking apart inside. I kept replaying that day over and over. If only I had been faster, if only I had held you longer, if only I had noticed sooner. Being a parent sometimes feels less like love and more like endless guilt. The house became unbearably quiet. We avoided each other's eyes. We shared the same grief, but neither of us knew how to carry the other anymore. The world moved again after 3 days, but we were still standing inside that moment. Sometimes even laughing felt like betrayal, and surviving felt heavier than sorrow itself. Losing a child felt like a part of the soul had stopped breathing forever. Still, the living had to continue, not because we forgot the child, but because the child had loved us too. So today again, we cry quietly and survive another day. The world kept moving forward, but our hearts still remain inside that child's name. My parents were always leaning toward me, and I kept wanting to run farther away. Parents empty out their entire lives for their children, even with nothing left. They smile and say it's okay. They give up their own tomorrow to build yours instead. And somehow children stand on top of that love, dreaming of even bigger worlds. The farther I wanted to run, the heavier guilt held my ankles. Why did wanting more for my life feel like betrayal? My parents saved me a million times, but I treated their hearts like a scribbled notebook. I complained, hurt them, held back words of gratitude, while thanking strangers forever for the smallest kindness. Why was I always the most clumsy with the people I loved the most? And one day I became the parent too, and I understood love is wanting to give even after you have nothing left. You wanna hold them back but still pray their wings become stronger than your loneliness. Maybe parents and children hurt each other the most. painful ways. My heart was always grateful, but those words arrived too late. Why are we most careless with the people who loved us the longest? Now I know parents are not people who simply exist beside us. They are people who carved away pieces of their lives to build ours. So today, again, I think of them somewhere between guilt and love. We loved each other so much that somehow we became each other's deepest wound. My mother came to me in a dream and said, "Let it out." Even the great ocean survives by letting the waves carry things away for eternity. We stayed silent for far too long. We never spoke about Dong Myung or the guilt we buried beside him, as if speaking the pain aloud would destroy what little remained of us. So each of us dug a private hell inside our own hearts. We looked alive from the outside, but inside everything was slowly turning dark. Uncried grief became stagnant water, rotting beneath the surface. Let it out, keep letting it out. The ocean cannot survive by staying still forever. Waves are what keep it alive. Cry if you need to, scream if you must. Ask why you were the one left behind. The living must make the sounds of the living. We thought silence was protecting each other, but it only made us lonelier. Mother cried alone, father became quieter every year. And the rest of us learned how to pretend we were okay, but hidden grief never disappeared. It only spread deeper through everything we were. The dead did not destroy the living. The living simply never opened their pain. Let it out again and again. The tears, the anger, the longing, the guilt, like weights against the shore. They must keep moving or the soul begins to decay. A silent ocean may look peaceful, but underneath everything slowly rots. Sometimes I wonder if we had cried properly back then, if we had held each other once more, would our hearts have become this dark? So today, I will finally let some of it go. The grief I locked away for years, I will send it outward like waves returning to the sea. Because I want to live again, not just survive. Even the great ocean survives by endlessly father once said, "When do I finally grow up?" And somehow those words hurt more than I expected. I always thought mothers were already complete people. Don't hurt someone just because they feel familiar. Even young leaves tear apart under soft rain. Just because someone stays silent doesn't mean they feel no pain. Inside the name of family, we often treated each other's hearts too carelessly. Mother was tired, children were still immature. Not because we lacked love, but because each of us was struggling through life for the very first time. None of us were fully grown. Mothers were still learning how to become mothers. Children were still learning how to survive their own lives. We did not become family because we were perfect. We became family because we stayed beside each other while growing incomplete together. Mother always looked strong, but she was trembling every day. Hurting people, regretting it, surviving somehow, and waking up again, pretending everything was fine. And children understood that pain far too late. Maybe growing older doesn't mean becoming complete. Maybe it simply means understanding more and blaming each other less. None of us were fully grown. Parents, children, lovers, all of us were just learning love inside lives we had never lived before. That is why we hurt each other, yet never truly left. My mother said, I'm still not fully grown either. And for the first time I realized she was also just a person. Now I understand family is not a place where perfect people gather. It is a place where imperfect people carry each other to the end. So today again we continue loving each other while still unfinished. My mother and I are both still growing. Whenever it rained, my mother always called. Did you bring an umbrella? Did you get home safe? Did you eat? And I would always say, I'm fine, like it was nothing, before ending the call too quickly. Back then, I didn't understand people who survived great loss become fragile even before small storms arrive. My mother's heart was always running toward me first. Before the typhoon came, she searched for my name first. Even inside terrible news, she stayed awake, wondering, what if it's my child? Maybe mothers live their whole lives soaked in worry for the people they love most. And somehow I became the same. If someone doesn't call back, my heart grows uneasy. A small accident on the news and suddenly one face fills my mind first. That's when I finally understood. My mother didn't doubt me. She was simply terrified of losing me. Thinking back now, one simple sentence would have been enough. I'm okay. Why did I save those words like they were difficult to give? A mother's heart is so full of her children. Even while smiling, part of her stays anxious. Even on peaceful days, she mother carried my worries every single day. Why did it take me so long to think about lightening hers? Now when it rains, I find myself checking on someone too, just like my mother did. Maybe love is simply this, a heart that keeps leaning towards someone else. Maybe my mother's heart spent its whole life raining toward her children. You probably didn't want anyone to cry, not your mother, not me. So you kept standing in the middle, and somehow I kept becoming the one left outside. Maybe love is not about who loves harder. Maybe we survive by knowing someone will still stand beside us when things get painful. You wanted to be a good person to everyone, but staying neutral didn't stop the pain. It only taught the person who loved you how to cry alone. Nothing shattered loudly, and yet my heart bruised quietly day after day. I know you weren't a bad person, maybe that's why it hurt even longer. I couldn't hate you, but I couldn't stop fading either. Love slowly grew cold inside all the words you never chose to say. to stand beside them when it becomes difficult. Became strangers. Waves try to touch both sides of the shore, but somewhere they are always forced to break. I don't remember ever waking up before my father. Whenever I opened my eyes, he was already gone. I thought that was just who he was, a man who never needed sleep. But now I know someone had to walk into the dark first, before the rest of the family could wake safely. My father was always on the side of dawn, crossing cold oceans alone while the whole world still slept, pushing another day forward with tired hands and silent shoulders. Even fear was something he carried quietly. That was my father. On the black water before sunrise, my father floated there alone, nothing but waves and darkness around him. And far away, small lights drifting across the sea. He looked at them and whispered, maybe that person is scared too, just like me. That line stayed inside me, because for the first time I realized my father was never fearless. He was simply a lonely man who kept steering the boat home because he had people waiting for him. If I sleep less, maybe my children can sleep a little longer. Maybe that was the thought that carried him through every winter dawn. My father always faced the cold before we did. While we slept in warm rooms, he was already outside, surviving another night. He wasn't strong because life was easy. He was strong because he was never allowed to collapse. Now I think I understand why I couldn't speak while watching the sunrise beside him. It wasn't the ocean that made me emotional, it was finally seeing the long darkness my father had walked through My father rarely spoke, but he worked longer, endured longer, stayed awake longer, passing One man quietly became an entire family's sunrise. My father was always awake before dawn, and I understood that loneliness far too late. When did you grow this tall? The little hand that once held mine, the child who cried inside my arms, is holding someone else's hand tonight. The school roads we walked together, the fevered nights I stayed awake, all those ordinary moments passed like a turning page. We thought we were simply living one season after another, but all those springs and summers were quietly building you into who you are today. You grew into a tree, fed by our greenest years. You became a forest, raised by our love and tears. Every shadow we offered, every storm we stood before, gathered into this moment as you walk toward your own tomorrow. I see your smile among the flowers, yet somehow I still see the child running through the doorway, calling out for me. The scraped knees, the first heartbreak, the nights you feared the world, all of them arrived together, standing here today. Maybe that's what parents do. They see every version of you at the same time. You grew into a tree, fed by our quiet dawns. You became the sunlight after so many years gone. We pushed you toward the distance, hoping you'd fly farther still. And today these loving hands finally learn to let go. This should only be a happy day, so why are tears falling? Maybe gratitude looks a lot like sorrow, and love has lasted this long. You grew into a tree, fed by our brightest years. Now you'll become someone else's shelter here. And maybe someday you'll understand why parents cry while they're smiling. Children never truly leave, they simply carry the seasons forward. And somehow watching you begin makes us believe in spring again. It was only a birthday, just another day gone by, but somehow I kept it hidden, like a stone I couldn't leave behind.
I smiled and said it didn't matter, that I was old enough to understand.
But somewhere deep inside me, a child was still holding out a hand.
Maybe that's how hunger grows, not from what we never had,
but from the little things we quietly wished for and never said aloud. I know you love me, I know you tried, but why does love still ache sometimes?
You gave me everything
you could afford to give, yet part of me still wondered if I was seen. And now I carry that same hunger inside my own heart.
My father walked into the ocean long before the morning light.
The sea was dark, the wind was cold, but he never let me see his fear.
I swore I'd never live that way, never lose myself to work and sacrifice.
Yet here I am,
trading years of my life
for someone else's tomorrow.
Funny how we spend our youth running from our parents' shadows,
only to discover they've been growing inside us all along. I know you love me, I know you tried, but why does love still leave us hungry?
You gave your youth away without asking for a thing,
and all I ever noticed were the empty places. Now I finally understand what your silence meant.
The ocean feeds us,
The ocean takes us,
life has always been that way.
one hand offers sunlight, the other brings a storm,
And somehow
we're expected to keep going.
I saw you blame yourself for every bruise inside my heart,
As if love alone
could have protected me.
from every wound,
You looked at my hunger,
and thought it was your failure.
but maybe some emptiness
Belongs to life itself. You did your best, you really did, and maybe that's the hardest truth.
Parents spend their lives
Feeling sorry for things they could never control.
Children spend their lives
Looking for what was missing, until one day they see everything that was there.
The sea keeps taking,
The sea keeps giving,
the rain keeps falling,
the sun returns again,
and between the storms
and the light
we keep loving.
the only way we know how, imperfectly, hungrily, beautifully alive.
When we were young, we thought life was only weather, just trying to survive. Another storm, another winter. We never stopped to see what was growing beneath our feet, while the years quietly passed us by.
Every word we spoke, every hand we held, every love we chose was a seed we didn't know we were planting. And one day the harvest comes, little by little, the kindness you gave returns as warmth. The love you protected returns as home. Time remembers everything we sow. Some built houses, some built walls, some chased the world and forgot the person beside them. Some spend a lifetime standing on the same side of the one they loved, even when no one was looking. Funny how the smallest things become the biggest things when the years grow old. And one day the harvest comes, not as money, not as glory, but as a hand still reaching for yours. After all these years, a quiet proof that love remained. The sea taught us this, it gives and it takes. The rain taught us this, nothing blooms without enduring the storm. Maybe life was never about keeping, maybe it was always about planting. And one day the harvest comes, the loneliness we planted returns as loneliness. The warmth we planted returns as light. No one escapes the seasons they create. So tonight, before the years grow older, hold the ones beside you a little closer, because love, like every season, will return exactly as it was given. I thought spring would always wait just beyond another season. I thought home would stay the same, no matter how far I wandered. I thought your voice would always answer on the other side of the phone. But time was moving while I wasn't looking, and the flowers knew before I did. When our spring begins to fade, we finally understand the sunlight was never ordinary. It had a name, it had a face, it had a face. The hands that held us through
and keep loving without asking to be seen. When our spring begins to fade, the colors change and suddenly we notice everything that was there. The warmth, the sacrifice, the love that never asked for anything in return. Children leave, friends drift away, the world keeps turning, but somewhere an old husband waits, an old wife listens, and they remain, holding the years together. When our spring begins to fade, hold them closer, say the words before silence learns their name. Before silence learns their name. Because flowers fall and seasons end, but love remains in every place it once bloomed. Love remains in every place it once bloomed. People say parents spend their lives loving from a distance, loving from a distance. Maybe that's true, but now I know the longest love is often the quietest one. The quietest one.